Hello everyone, this is Sushobit. I have selected the topic of real-time data analysis project. It is based on Kafka, and in this, as we can see in this diagram, we have a data set which is of transactions from a superstore retail data, and we are giving it as an input to the Kafka machine, and at the end the Kafka is processing the real-time data and sending it to the Amazon S3 where it is maintaining the database, and with the help of crawler and Amazon Glue we are creating a schema, and with the help of Amazon Athena we will query the database. So first of all we'll start with Kafka EC2. We'll go to the AWS. So this is AWS logged in, and we'll first go to the EC2 instance. We'll create an instance, so click on the launch instance. We'll give it a name, Kafka install 123. We'll select Amazon Linux 2 AMI machine. Will not change anything. We'll select the key pair. And rest of the settings are same. We'll launch the instance. So the instance is ready. You can check. It will be in the pending state. Once it's running, we'll open the putty. It's running, so we'll copy the public DNS, and now we'll open the putty. In the putty we'll enter the public DNS. In the SSH authentication file we'll give the key. One more thing we'll do, in the data in connections we'll give the username to make the logins easy, EC2 user, and we'll save all these settings in the name of AWS and save. Then open the terminal. So first of all we'll install Kafka. This is the installation address. We are doing it with the help of wget command. It's downloading the zip file. We'll unzip it. We are unzipping the file now. Java is not installed on the EC2 instance, so we'll install Java. Press yes to install. Y. It's installing the Java. So Java is installed. We should get into the Kafka folder. We'll run change one server.properties. In this we'll come down to advertise.listener. We'll remove the hashtag. In the place of your host name we'll put the public address. I'll show you which one. So this is the public address. I'll close the terminated one. So to reduce the confusion, so we'll paste the address so we can check it's the same one. We'll save by Control X, Y and enter, and then we'll launch the Zookeeper. So we'll launch the Zookeeper. You can see the Zookeeper is running. Then we'll open one more Putty terminal. We have the settings saved, so we can directly log in. Then we'll install the Kafka. First we'll allocate the memory inside the JDK for the Kafka server to run. This is the allocation. Then we'll get inside the Kafka folder. We'll run the Kafka server now. As we can see, the Kafka server is started, and I can also show you the address where our public address is there. Yeah, we can see this is our public address. Now we'll open one more Putty terminal. Before doing this step, we'll go into the EC2. In the securities, we need to add inbound rules. We'll go to the security group, edit inbound rules. We'll add one more rule. It's all traffic anywhere and safe. So again we'll go back and run the further commands. So till now we have launched the server, and now we will create a topic. I will give it a name, topic transactions, and instead of this IP address we need to copy the public IP address as we have changed. And then copy this command into the Putty terminal. Get inside the Kafka. And we can see the topic is created. So now we will start the producer. In this also we need to change the IP address. We need to change it to the public one. This is the same one. So as we can see, the producer has been created. If we type anything now, it goes into the Kafka server. So we'll create one more, we'll open one more Putty shell and create the consumer where I can show the live transfer of data from from producer to the consumer. We'll open Putty shell. We have logged in. We'll get into the Kafka base. Again, same IP address we need to change. So I will show you all the four terminals. So these are the four terminals. This one is the zookeeper, this one is the Kafka server, this one is the producer, and this one is the consumer. See, if I type anything, example my name, it will show up in the consumer end. If I type any random things, it will immediately show up into the base. So basically this was all about uh, installing the Kafka server and connecting producer and consumer to it. So next we'll move to the input. After completing the Kafka installation, we can see from the architecture this part is done. So we'll do the input part, and for that we will need Jupyter notebook, and one more thing, it's Amazon CLI. I will be giving the link in the notepad, but you can download it from Amazon CLI if you search it. You can download it from here for Mac, from this Mac OS. So these two are prerequisite before the next step. So we will get back to the Jupyter notebook. So in the file I have given this two files, Kafka, in the folder I have given two files, Kafka consumer and Kafka producer. So we'll open these two files in the system, and I already have it, so I will open those. You need to upload it from this upload command. So first you need to do the producer part, need to install the Python. If you don't have it, you need to install it. As I already have, the requirement is already met. Then we will import the libraries. This is a logic made for transferring the producers. So this is the IP address of our local IP. This one, as we can see, this is the same as what we inserted, and it's basically like the producer which takes the input from Kafka boot server, and with the help of Lambda function and encoding, we are transferring it in a JSON file. Next is producer, the transactions, we are sending transactions. For example, if I run this, the transaction will be sent to the server. Oh, sorry, producer needs to be run. Then the transaction. So we can check the transaction inside the folder. See the name and Sushobit. It is a JSON file in the name of list. So it's there. So for this project, I have taken the transaction of Superstore data. So we'll copy the path for those. The path is this. And we'll paste the path. We'll load the data. We can see this is the data, transaction quantity, total. This is the total data. Now we'll go to the consumer function. So in this, first we need to install S3 fs It is installed. Then we'll load the libraries. We'll create a consumer function as we did in the producer. And this is also same. We are connecting to the server. This is the IP address which we need to insert. Take care of these two things. One is the transaction, which is the name of the topic, and the IP address. And we are decoding it on this other end. In this, we were encoding it. So we'll run this command. If we run this, we can also see what live thing on the terminal. What we can see here, we can also see on the Python thing if we print this values. So for example, if I pass anything else in this instead of my name, if I write big data, so I can see big data name. So we can also see live uh, updates in this Python too. So, but in this we need to automate the input data as it will be there in the real time. Like if there is some transaction happening, it will be there, and then after some time there will be another transaction, and in the same way the flow is there of same way the flow is there for the Kafka. So we have created a logic for that, and this, like, we have done the sampling of from this all available data, and then we'll send one by one each line to the Kafka server. And the sleep command is used to give a delay. If we don't give a delay, we have a very small memory, so there is a chances that our program might crash, the server might crash. So we are giving a delay of 1 second for each line. So we'll run this. And if you want to see, there will be all each line. I will stop this command because it will continuously give data. So we'll configure. So we have connected this initial part. So we have done this initial part. In the architecture part, we have done the initial part. In Python, we are creating a data which will be sent as an push to the Kafka. And we have also seen what the outputs are there on the consumer end. But the outputs are not saved anywhere. So we need to save that in a bucket. So now we will do the final part, like creating a bucket and then querying those uh, databases. So in so we have to configure S3 bucket. I already have a bucket, but I will show you how to make one. Write a unique name, for example, select the region, keep rest of the things as it is, and choose create bucket. I will not create because already I have a bucket. So we'll use the existing bucket. And to use the existing bucket, we need to configure IAM user. I have the IAM user, but I will show you how to add another one. For example, I will write pkafka select this setting. I want I am user. Next, attach policies. One is access, another one is S3, full access. Next, create a user. Download this CSV, otherwise you won't be able to get it afterwards. Then in this we need to edit few things. Example, we should go into security credentials. We need to create an access key, CLI command. I understand. Next, create access. This is also access key which will be required, and you need to keep it in the safe place, and this one will be required in our Python file. Here we need to paste this key. So I will use the existing one which is already copied, and I will show you the output. So I have pasted the existing key and the security key. In this you need to enter the zone, which is US East 2. You need to enter the bucket name, S3 bucket name, which you can get it from this one, S3. This is the name of the bucket. So I have pasted that bucket name. This is the name in which each and every transaction will be listed, like trans 0, then the data, trans 1, then the data. So this is the name of the JSON file. So we'll run both the commands and we'll start the input pulses. So as we can see in this, it has not started yet. We'll go to the bucket and we'll see the transactions have started popping up in the bucket. If you refresh, the new ones will be coming into the bucket. These are the JSON files, and so till now we have configured Amazon S3 bucket. Now we will, in next part, we'll connect it with the crawler. For crawler, we will search. In this, we need to add crawler, enter the name, you should go in this crawler. We need to create a crawler by giving a name. We have not yet mapped it, so not yet. We need to add the data source S3. We'll select the data source which was S3. So show with Kafka bucket. We need to add backslash. IAM role. So in this, I will tell you one more thing. We need to create. So in this, I will tell you one more thing. We need to create. So in IAM, we'll go to roles. In roles, we'll create role. In this, we are using glue. So we'll select glue. Next, we want admin. So admin access. Next, we need to give a role name. I'm giving role glue, and then create role. So we'll go back to the main glue console. So here we will refresh and we'll select role glue. Next, I will select another database, and we'll do next. Everything looks correct. We'll create a crawler. So the crawler is created. Basically, we'll run the crawler. Stop the data for a while. Crawler is completed, and now finally we can go to Athena. Here we will select the transaction. We'll refresh. One table is created. So we can see the top 10 transactions. from here. If I take the count, it's 608. We can check it live, like if I run the input, and we can see it is increasing each second as it passes. So basically I wanted to show how the input, real-time input is taken by the given by the producer to the Kafka server, and same is pushed to the consumer. There can be multiple producers, there can be multiple consumers. So this was all about the project. Thank you.